Hunting can be a series of good luck and bad luck. In today's story, we learn not to get discouraged with a little bad luck, for you never know, good luck might be just around the corner. That's what my friend Jordan found out in this great whitetail deer hunting experience. This story takes place in 2023 here in northwestern Alberta, so without further ado, let's get right into it. I grew up in the Northwest Territories where hunting and outdoor adventure was a daily occurrence. But now, times have changed. I had moved south to Alberta and found myself a lovely little bride. Well, one thing led to another, and soon enough, children were on the way. Between a full-time job, a wife, and 2 little daughters now, hunting went to the wayside as my time was filled up with children and their many extracurricular activities. So as a father needing more time for his family, I pushed my passions and hobbies to one side. Temporarily. Well, the wait is over. The children, now teenagers, keeping themselves busy and not really wanting or requiring any more of my time, just my wallet. Anyway, my best friend Ian was living close by, and I was free to take up hunting once again. Just planning the upcoming hunt was so exciting that I could hardly sleep at night in anticipation of getting back out on the land. My friend Ian was of native descent and held treaty hunting rights to the area we would be visiting. Okay, let's hit the road. It was about 6 p.m. after work on a Friday night as we enjoyed the 4-hour drive to our hunting area, catching up on news stories and telling all of our greatest hits all over again. So good to spend time with a lifelong friend. Now, our plan was to drive up to this remote area, make camp, and then day hunt from there over the next few days. I like that scenario because with day hikes, your backpack is much less heavy. My friend knew this area very well and had picked it for good reason, as it was usually thick with elk and mule deer. We had high hopes, but did not expect what we saw next. Pulling up into the cut block where we had planned to stay, which was a beautiful hilly area with forests that converged into several open cut lines, which are basically brushed out old roads or pipelines. These make the hiking a little easier and a great place to spot deer and elk, as they often use these open areas for trails and foraging. Just a little further, just around the corner, and then we'll park, said Ian, who was familiar with this old road. It was a little bit uphill to a nice flat spot where we would make camp. It was 11 p.m. at night and pitch black for a couple of hours already. As we crested the hill and our headlights leveled out before us, we could not believe our eyes. Certainly we had come to the right place, but perhaps at the wrong time, as before us the darkness lit up with dozens of bright dots of literally dozens of eyes staring back at us. They were just far enough away that we could not see what they were, but just the reflection of the light in their eyes. Oh my God, said Ian. I think we just drove right into the middle of the elk herd we were hoping to find. The eyes scattered and disappeared. We killed the engine, got out of the truck. Noisily we made camp, unloading all our gear. Our hearts sank, thinking there wouldn't be an elk within 10 miles of this place come morning. Why couldn't we have showed up yesterday? What bad luck. Oh well, we had a plan. We had our gear, we knew what we were doing, and we weren't going to let anything stop us. Many days hunting ahead, who knows what could happen? It was too late in the season to have any success calling, and definitely any harvesting was going to take place by being stealthy and waiting. Patience is the #1 commodity a hunter must have. Oh well. I'm with my best friend, I'm out on the land. Whether or not we get anything, it's still going to be a memorable trip and time well spent. A bit of bad luck scaring the elk away, but who knows, tomorrow's a new day, and maybe luck will shine on us. Although, I wasn't counting on it. We finished setting up at about 1 a.m. and grabbed a few hours sleep before the morning sunrise. Now, this late in the year, that wasn't until just after 8 a.m. You see, we were hunting in late November, and this far north in Canada, the daylight hours are getting pretty short. Sunset would be at 4:30 p.m., about 8.5 hours away. The weather was unseasonably warm this year, barely freezing at night and above freezing temperatures during the day. It had hardly snowed this year, too, and only a couple of inches spottily covered the ground. Honestly, the strangest winter weather we had ever had. I rose in the dark and fired up the Coleman stove to make coffee. Ian and I whispered quietly about our plan and headed out with our light day packs and rifles slung over our shoulders. Walking was pretty easy, and we enjoyed the warmth of the rising sun. In fact, we couldn't believe our good luck, as this time of year often seen temperatures dip as low as -40. +5 in the sunshine? Yeah, we'll take it. We walked some distance for about 2 hours when we came upon a perfect spot, high on the hill overlooking the whole area with a beautiful long cut line just to my left. With lots of sign around like tracks, scat, browsed brush, and grass, I dibsed this beautiful spot. "I'll stay here, and you keep on going," I said to Ian, who looked a little less winded than me. "Okay," he said, and started walking away through a thick patch of bush and making more noise than a herd of 30 elk. Finally, his sound disappeared, and I settled in, sitting on the ground under a tree in this great vantage point. Soon enough, the birds started to sing, squirrels chirped in the distance, and the forest returned to its calm, quiet self. Crack! I heard a sound just to my left, just at the forest right on the cut line. Cool weather and dry conditions made for very good sound travel. My head snapped to the left, my eyes focused intently on where my ears told me the sound had come. A moment can seem like an eternity. Wait a minute. Maybe it's just my friend Ian returning from a different direction. So I didn't raise my rifle, but continued to stare at that spot. Now, my rifle, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, lay across my lap with a Burris 5x17 scope ready to help make the shot at any range. Crack went another sound, my eyes like lasers pinpointed at the bush line not 25 yards away. And just like that, he stepped out. Not my friend, but the biggest, nicest whitetail buck I had ever personally seen. 6 large dark tines on one side with 7 on the other. The height, the width, the mass, the symmetry of that rack was beautiful. So, not the biggest buck in the world, but the biggest buck in my world, and would easily be the nicest and largest I'd ever taken. Silently, I brought up the gun, slowly controlling my breath, remaining as calm as I could. I wasn't going to miss this shot. One shot, one kill is always my goal, and today it was going to be easy. The shot rang out, and my bullet penetrated his chest just behind the shoulder, just missing the heart, but turning both lungs into mush as he dropped right in his tracks. Patiently, I waited to give him time to die, his back legs kicking and twitching every few seconds as he came to grips with his fate. Slowly, I walked over and watched him pass, thankful and respectful for the animal, the experience and the meat that he would provide, and really, really thankful for those beautiful antlers that would now adorn my wall. Well, it wasn't long until Ian came bounding into the clearing, gasping for air from running the whole way back after he heard the shot. "Oh my God, that's a beauty," he said, and we went to work. As any hunter knows, the fun is over, and now the work begins. Remember, we had walked about 2 hours from our truck, and even though we were walking slowly, I think we must have covered at least 5 kilometers or maybe 3 miles. In my experience, it's after the first mile that you really start to wish you hadn't shot such a big deer. With rope, we hoisted the deer up a tree, got all the guts out, and started skinning. Very carefully. Very carefully, we skinned that deer out, as I was planning on having the head mounted and to tan the hide myself. After completing the skinning, we removed all 4 legs with our knives, cutting right at the joints. We took all the remaining meat off the carcass and harvested all the edible internal organs, placing those and all the loose meat inside the hide to be dragged behind. As well as carrying 2 legs, my rifle, and the head of the deer, it was not easy, and by mile 2, I was exhausted. My friend Ian wasn't faring much better than myself, but a beautiful day, wonderful company, and a little bit of adrenaline still coursing through my veins. I knew we'd make it. With a few rests, trading and adjusting loads a couple of times, we made it back to the truck. We cleaned up camp and drove down to the river in order to take some time to clean the meat in its cold waters. Carefully, we washed it, removing any hair, sticks, or dirt. We wrapped all the meat in our tarp and even added ice from our coolers. Tying it all together, it looked like a giant blue taco, keeping everything cool and clean until we arrived home in just a few short hours. Everyone was so surprised to see us back home so soon. But that's the way hunting goes. Sometimes good luck, sometimes bad. But don't let that stop you. Sometimes, like in my case, bad luck one day can lead to good luck the next. Well, folks, a big thank you to Jordan Nelson of St. Albert, Alberta. Jordan was born and raised in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories of Canada. He's no stranger to work, cold, and caribou hunts. Although the business of career and family temporarily took him away from hunting, this big buck story set him back on the path, and I'm sure he'll have many more great stories to come. Well, that's his story, folks, but I'd like to tell yours. Send in your hunting or outdoor adventure story to info@themoosewhisperer.com. You can write it out and send it by email or just speak it into a voice memo on your phone and share it the same way. It's darn easy. Just hit record and say, hey, this one time I was hunting and you wouldn't believe it. I know you've got great stories to tell. Let me tell them to the world. Include a few pictures and I'll do a short bio about you as well. Please help out this channel by hitting subscribe, like, and share. Heck, we're building a community here. Thanks for watching. More stories to come.